Now this can be borrowed and examined, but for the sake of the video, you're not here, you have to take my word for it that the box is normal and empty. Place off to the side and come back to it in a moment. We're also going to use 2 more cards, and those 2 cards are the 2 red jacks. We have the Jack of Diamonds and the Jack of Hearts, okay? I'm going to take the 2 jacks and place them both into the box, leave them sealed in there, and if you were here, you would hold on to them in the box, okay? But I'm going to place it off to the side for now because you're not here. Now at this point, we need the cards shuffled and mixed up, so let's give them a good mix, a good shuffle, and a card is going to be selected. And actually what's really nice here is that a card can truly be freely selected and signed. So we have the 4 hearts. This would be signed by you, the spectator, nice and big across the face. So signed and lost somewhere into the center of the deck, just like that. And at this point, you would take the deck and give it a good shuffle, but you're not here, so you just have to take my word for it that this deck is a shuffled deck at this point. So I'm going to place them off to the side, but notice that I'm not going to touch the deck to the box. Okay? So at this point, I would take the box from you, empty hands, and say, listen, look. See how it sounds slightly different than before? Watch. That's because, look, if I open it up nice and slowly, you'll see, I'll give you a good clear view. If I reach in and pull the cards out as slowly as I can, so you can see everything, look, nothing to hide or take away, no slits or holes. If I spread the 2 cards inside the box, there's now 1 card between them. At this point, you can show that it would be their signed, selected 4 hearts. So that's 3 in the bed. That's my card to box. And the reason I love it so much is the impossibility factor is just taking up a smaller notch than normal. Instead of having just a signed card in the box, the card is signed in the box and sandwiched between 2 cards that were placed in there before the effect began. And for me, when I was creating it, I was kind of like, how can I just make this effect just that tiny bit more impossible? And I thought, oh, I'll put 2 sandwich cards in there because that makes it even harder. And I discovered a principle which you're about to learn, which then makes me sort of, as a magician, it's one of those things that you just sort of, if you watch at a convention and someone showed you it, you go, it makes you go like, I like that. So I think most of you are going to dig the principle, you're about to learn it, and then we'll come back to it at the end of the video. So to perform this effect, it's completely impromptu. If I do have a choice of deck beforehand though, I like to get rid of the sticker on the back of the box. You can see cherries don't come with a sticker, so I get rid of the sticker. The other thing to note is that if you want to make the effect slightly easier, you can tear the tabs off. But for all intents and purposes, this is a completely impromptu effect. So, take out a deck from the box, and what you're going to do is you're going to leave the box on the table open. Okay, just so that it makes your handling a little bit easier as you progress through the routine. And then take out 2 sandwich cards. So we'll use the 2 jacks, and I have them already on top of the deck, okay? So you take out the 2 jacks from the deck, and you're gonna make it seem like the 2 jacks go inside the box. So that looks like this. You take the Jack of Hearts, the Jack of Diamonds, you pick them both up as one together and place them in. But secretly what I'm doing is I'm hiding one of those jacks on top of the deck. So this move is basically a sandwich load. And the way I do it is by getting a break under the top card and holding the 2 jacks in my right hand. I peel the top card off, the top jack off, onto that break. Now it's a double. Okay, so there's 2 cards there. The second jack gets then peeled off as I grip the double separately and pull out. See, there's 2 cards there. So I pull that away, and then I basically realign them both on top of the deck, just like this, so it looks like I'm just holding them separately. And as I come over to pick them both up, I just square the deck and only pick up that top card, which will then hide 1 card underneath. So at speed, it should look super natural, super organic. You don't want them to split down here like that did. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, and this is a brand new deck, so they are going to slip a bit more, you can just do a basic card load, which is to get a break underneath an X card on top, put everything on top, so you pick up all three, there's three there, you peel one to show, let the other one go, and then you can do exactly the same thing. So whatever floats your boat. Okay, so from here, 1, 2, get all the cards. I've actually got one, but I'm handling it as if I'm pretending I've got two. And now I'm going to place the jack in the box with the lid pointing upwards, okay? So the lid opens up like that, and that singular jack, as if it's two, gets placed in. And then you close it all around it, okay? And all the while it's important, I'm talking as if there's two cards, so I place the two jacks are in the box, both of them are in the box, you know, so just to reinforce that there really is two cards. The position you're in now is that this jack is one down from the top, face up, and all you need to do is get this jack to the bottom. So you can do this in a million different ways. You could do a terrible pass, like I just did with two cards. Let's try that again. You can pass with two cards and get it to the bottom. You can sort of do you can do an overhand shuffle, but just grabbing these two cards to begin with your thumb, like this. But really the easiest way, the no-nonsense way, is to do the dreaded double undercut. Okay, so you can do that by getting a break under the top two cards. I like to do a pinky break so that this doesn't flash. So a pinky break, 1, 2, and then a standard double undercut, bringing the jack to the bottom of the deck. So from here, you can have a card selected quite freely, just don't flash the bottom. So any card can be selected. And it can be signed, which is really nice. And now, that card is going to be placed into the middle of the deck. But what I'm doing, it's sort of like a Marlowe tilt, but Marlowe tilt to one down from bottom. So I get a pinky break beneath the bottom card, and it looks like I'm doing this. I'm placing it into the center. But what I'm actually doing is getting a break beneath the bottom card, like this. I'm mimicking placing it into the middle to give them the idea that it's going here, just like the Marlowe tilt. And then I'm placing it above that break, and I'm keeping it as close to the deck, so I'm pushing it up to the deck to make it look like it's in the middle as I can. And then it's going to be pushed in. Now, before I finish pushing it in, I readjust my pinky break to grab onto it. Okay, so it's speed. The card's selected, so it doesn't matter what it is. So, card selected and signed. So we've got the Queen of Clubs. Now, I'm going to do this, place it in, and grip that with a pinky break. So from here, you're going to go into a gambler's cop of the bottom two cards, the selected card and the jack. Now remember, we have a pinky break. I just do this super casually as I'm acting like I'm squaring up the deck, so I can sort of make the deck a little bit messy by riffling it or whatever I want, keeping that break. I then just kick it back into gambler's cop, like that. Right, so now I have two cards in cop. Now remember, with the gambler's cop, the biggest tip is that most people do it like that. They cop it and hold their thumb, or they keep their thumb out. The thumb is the most convincing element of the cop, so just relax that thumb as if you have nothing in your hand. And the way I get into cop is I literally just pull back like a shotgun until the top edge of these cards line up along my middle finger. So I pull back from here, in line with my middle finger, and then steal them off and drop my hand down. Okay, now the nice thing about this is that you can hand this deck to the spectator, and their card is not in the deck, and neither is the jack as a convincer that the jack's preloaded. It's like a subconscious convincer. But what's cool is that from this point they think their card's lost in the deck, so you can say the card's lost in the deck, and I actually want you to hold on to the deck and give them a really nice shuffle, and you can then pretend to shuffle and keep these in cop. But either way, you need to get the deck out of the picture. So at this point the deck's gone, and from here you're going to need to pick up the box. But the thing is this, you want it to be as fair and as open as possible, so you're going to very obviously point to it. So say, look, the box has been on the table the entire time, and inside the box is two jacks. I pick the box up and shake it, and I bring it right up to the face. I bring the box right up and say, look, you can hear that sounds slightly different now because it's slightly heavier. And the reason I bring this right up to their face is if you notice, almost with the camera as well, they readjust their focus to here. I haven't loaded the cards yet. What I'm going to do is as I bring them down, it gives them just a brief moment to readjust, and as their eyes are sort of readjusting and everyone's sort of reframing physically, I can just very easily load these cards underneath the box. Alright, so at speed I would pick the box up and say, look, that sounds slightly different, right? That's because it's a slightly heavier watch. And I do this, I place it in my hand, and it's like the easiest load ever, because it's not like a palm load. I place it in my hand, and I say watch, like this, and I like sort of motion up as a reason to remove my hand. Now when I come back down, I can just make sure that everything's square, okay? So I can square these two cards on the bottom of the box. So at speed, it looks like this. Watch, that card's been on the table the entire time. But I want you to listen. You can actually hear they sound slightly different now. That's because they're a bit heavier watch. And this is the reason, there's two reasons why the lid of the box is going to be on top, okay? Like we said earlier. It's because when you do this and re-square, that middle finger is going to pinch it and open. So it makes a lot of sense for this left hand, for your right hand to be above, and for the left hand that loads to be below. So it all sort of makes sense aesthetically. The way you move, it all makes sense. So you can hear, watch. And now, because you're opening it this way, it makes sense that your left hand was underneath, right? Otherwise you'd have to reposition to get the cards on top. But the position you're in is two cards underneath and one card in the deck. Now this is the really nice part of the routine, the bit that I am really proud of when I created it. The illusion that's going to be created is that you pull three cards from inside the box. But the reality is two are on the bottom. So, and their card will be sandwiched in between the two cards. This is the impossible factor of this effect. Because there's no sticker on the box and you have this half moon crescent cut out, it allows you to grip all three cards. See how because all three cards can be gripped at once because the box isn't in the way, just in that cutout, right? So you can grip all three cards at once and pull them. From underneath, you pull in the two cards. Now the reason there's no sticker as well is because sometimes these two cards, the chosen card will get stuck on the sticker. That's why I prefer to not have a sticker. And the sticker can also, even the residue can do that. So you can just wipe it off with like a wet wipe, like a little damp cloth or something. But also you don't have to obstruct the crescent moon. So if I pull here, boom. Now I'm going to slowly bring this out. And look how fair this illusion looks. Even though two are coming from beneath, because you've got this top card to cover, this illusion just looks perfect, like absolutely perfect. And immediately you can spread these cards to show the card inside the middle is in fact the signed card. And that's it. At this point you're completely 100% clean. And you've just formed a sandwiched card in box that just shouldn't make sense. And it's all completely impromptu. So one more time, at speed, sort of half exposing it as I go along. Deck is open, placed off to the side. Two cards are used. We're going to sandwich load these cards with an X card, and then just pick up one of the jacks, making it feel like two, leaving me in this position here. Then I'm going to double undercut or pass that jack to the bottom of the deck, have a card selected. This card can be signed, get a pinky break above that jack, pretend to place the signed card in, and you're going to get that loaded into cop, just like this. So I have the two cards in cop. Deck gets handed to the spectator. I bring it right up to their face and immediately come down, load underneath the box, open it up, and then pull all three cards as one out from the box. So that was it, guys. That was 3 in the bed. That's this week's Tutorial Tuesday. I'm guessing most of you seen that principle of being able to take out a card seemingly from between two sandwich cards in the box, but using that top card as cover. Now, I published this in my Odyssey double disc DVD set under the same name, 3 in the Bed, back in like 2014 or something. I haven't seen anyone using the same principle before or after, but I'm sure, as with every single thing in Magic, somebody probably created it like 300 years ago. I just cannot find it. Either way, that principle, I was so giddy with excitement when I sort of come up with it, that I have a bunch of other ideas with it, but we haven't got time to share them in this video. But go out there, get creative. You're only scratching the surface with a sandwich effect in this instance, but there's so much more that you can do with it. So I hope you enjoy these Tutorial Tuesdays. I'm here every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Sunday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss a single darn thing. And if you're feeling super generous, then drop me a like to let me know if you enjoyed the video. But guys, I'll be back on Thursday for the weekly wife test, which is live Magic, and also then Sunday for the Sunday session live. And if you didn't see last week's, we had Ben Williams, Craig Petty, and Adam Wilburn. All we did for 2 hours was talk and show and teach torn and restored cards. So go and check out last week's Sunday session live. It's the best one we've ever done yet, with some amazing creators all live and all on the channel. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, drop the notification bell a ping so that you can see when we go live on the next video. I'll be back every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Sunday. Peace.